Aloha everyone, this is LeimomiTV, Intuitive Soul Aligned Mindset Coach here, and I'm here with Beverly Walthour, and she is a business strategist. And so she's actually one of my original clients that took some of my private programs and also took some of my group programs. So I'm really excited to talk with her because she's like been rocking it since. So I know a lot of things have happened since then. So, but just introduce yourself a little bit more. Tell us more about, who you are, what you do, what your sacred work is. And this is for our Client Impact LeimomiTV series.
Okay. Well, once again, I am Beverly Walthour, and I am a business strategist for female coaches and consultants. So I do help them get consistent clients in their business. So that's my sacred work, is just definitely working with females, and helping them to actually create that time and financial freedom in their lives. And so that was actually something, even, taking your courses, doing your classes, working with you one-on-one, like really refining who it is that I work with, my ideal client, like that was all part of the process as well. So certainly, getting my blueprint alignment was just like a piece, like a small piece in a bigger puzzle of what it was that I was trying to do or wanted to do in my business. So, yeah.
So, yeah, tell me more about like what you were experiencing or struggling at before you met me, and when you got your soul line blueprints, like what like awakening you had.
Mm-hmm. So for me, it was more of a really trying to hone in and define my message more, and to also really ensure that I was speaking to my ideal client. Like those were the things that when I came, even into last year, 2017, really wanting clarity. And it was more than just clarity in my business. It was just on the spiritual side as well, just that clarity. And so before that, really, when I was out there, I was saying that I was helping females with their, get their businesses started. But I realized that I wanted to do something just a little bit more. And so, yes, I was able to help, whether or not you had a product based or service based business, being able to help them get that consistent income. But for me, I felt like it was something else. Like I felt like it was a little too broad. And so I really wanted to get more clarity on who I wanted to serve in my business. So those were some of the reasons why I came to you. The main picture was the clarity piece. That was the piece that I felt like I was lacking. So clarity on who my ideal client was, and clarity in the messaging to actually, draw in my ideal client.
Yeah, I remember it was like kind of confusing at first because we're like, hey, like, so if I am an expression type of soul, like, how does that play into me being a biz strategist? Because you're like all into like the order of the other part of your gifts that you're actually operating backwards, right? Before. And then you're trying to get out of the order and you're like, how do I get into my expression? Which is all about being and sharing the message and marketing and talking about those type of tools. And then I guess as you like hone into your ideal client and you like served your client, right, things shifted. So what kind of things did you experience, like or manifestations happen like right after, or continues to happen now?
And actually it's a process, because I really and truly feel, when you're ready, all of those things will make sense. So even when I was going through your courses or working with you, some of the things just weren't clicking then. And so, because my biggest thing was this self-expression. I'm like, no, that's not me. No. I need order. I need strategy. This is step one. This is step two. No, like, what are you telling me? So it's almost like the complete opposite of everything that I had known up until this point. And so I think it just really took me some time to really step into and understand that whole self-expression component of myself. And, even still, I'm just like, I still fight. I do find myself fighting it sometimes, but because once again, it's such the opposite of what I've been used to doing for so long. And so once I really embraced it, it was really me using my platform when it comes to helping female coaches and consultants. And, once again, being able to use my words to make the connection with them. And that has made to me the biggest difference, is not being afraid to share, my story, whether or not it's quote unquote business related, or if it's something outside of business, you know, letting them know that it's a holistic piece, as far as it's not just one piece to me. It's not just business. Like, I am my business. So things that are going on, you know, I always say the good, bad, and the ugly. You know, that's all a part of who I am. And so being able to be out there almost on a daily basis, sharing in some type of capacity, whether or not it's video, which I live stream constantly now, or, you know, if I'm making a post, it's just anything where I'm actually expressing myself. You know, that's been the biggest thing, is really stepping into that and owning it and being okay with it. And so for me, that's been the biggest stretch, but it's been the most rewarding too, because to hear from different women, you know, when I share my story, whatever's going on that particular day, and them telling me that hits home with them, and, you know, really having that consistency as well has really helped with building the relationships. And that's been one of the biggest pieces that I think was missing as well, was I was so focused on the strategy pieces, which once again, opposite, but also when I really got focused on building relationships, that shifted. And I think that's all a part of that self-expression piece as well. That relationship building is huge. And so those two pieces, the relationship building and just really and truly stepping into my gift on a daily basis and serving in that capacity, has really caused my business to expand in ways I didn't even realize was going to happen. So yeah, that's been the biggest piece, even as I, you know, continue to implement, you know, from my blueprint on a daily basis.
Yeah. So I noticed that, you know, over the time, I don't know how it's been, like, has it been like 6 months or something, like, since we last worked together in the beginning?
Yeah, it's probably been about 6 months. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I noticed that, like, a lot of things shifted for you just because you move more towards the expression rather than the order piece. You know, you got your book out, you got your new book out. What is it called? Maybe you can share with my audience about it.
Tying the knot between ministry and the marketplace, volume 1, and then volume 2 is getting ready to come out, which that was another thing to me, writing a book or being a co-author of a book. That was another piece when that opportunity was presented to me, because I always said I wanted to write a book. But you'll also hear me say I'm not the strongest writer to actually, like, make myself sit down and write something. that is such a struggle. Even if it's a social media post, like I tell my group, I'm just like, you guys don't understand how long, I don't care if it's 3 sentences, how long it took me to write those 3 sentences. So I felt like being a part of an anthology would be like that step that I needed to kind of get my feet wet when it came to writing the book. And so even in my chapter in volume 1, it was all about facing your fears and strategies that you can implement to kind of push past, you know, when that fear and doubt pops up, because it's going to pop up, but how you respond to it is huge. And so that's what I discussed in my chapter in the book, Tying the Knot Between Ministry and the Marketplace, was how you actually, you know, can use strategies to push back on that fear when it does pop up, especially when your business is moving up, when you're moving to the next level in your business. You know, then definitely you need some strategies, that word strategy. You need some things to actually implement, you know, to kind of combat those things when they do pop up.
Mm-hmm. And how was it when you were, like, going out there, because you did more PR, you got on podcasts, TV shows, and all kinds of things? Like, how was that? Like, because I know it was, push back the other fear too with that.
Yes. And that was the biggest thing, because I'll tell people in a heartbeat, like, I'm an introvert. And so but you can't tell, because my career before this, I was a teacher. So I was on stage, and then a trainer, the same thing. I'm always on a stage. And so I'm always used to people looking at me. But in this space, it felt different because it was mine. And so, you know, doing the podcast, doing the radio, doing the television, the different live streams, all of those things, it definitely took me outside my comfort zone. And so it was a daily effort on my part not to shrink back, like not to say, oh my gosh, you know, I can't do this, and find a reason not to do it. Like, it was all a part of that process. And so I know that, you know, that my story is bigger than me. And so once I really decided that I was going to, you know, kick the ego to the curb, because I know, you know, it's designed to keep me safe and comfortable. But I'm like, you know, once I decided that I didn't want to play small anymore. You know, when the fear did pop up, I was just like, okay, yes, but I'm still going to push through. I'm still going to do that. So, you know, having that exposure was huge. Definitely there were days where I wanted to hide, but I didn't. I pushed through, and so the payoff was incredible.
Yeah, I love it because remember how we're talking about your expression was your main gift. So like learning how to like speak from that voice before, like because you were like in the order and in the empowering women and stuff like that, but like really owning that part is always, I think, a hard part for the expression episode because it's like the thing that you help people with, but it's like, well, how do I get my voice out there? You know? So the thing that you really struggle with could actually be your superpower and ended up being it. And then when you go out there and you're speaking your truth and you're talking about all of this marketing and messaging and stuff, and then here you're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. So when you're on stage, just like on stage, like right now, you're just on stage, we're just talking, we're having a nice chat, you know? And it's normal, but inside of yourself, there's so much like, how can I like keep expressing myself right now?
That's true. That is true.
And I think having the blueprints gave you something more tangible, right? To be like, hey, this is how I'm designed. It's okay for me to be afraid of this part of myself, but I know that I keep aligning to it. I'll become more abundant. I will, create more income the way I'm designed and stuff. So have you noticed that maybe your income or other things shifted in your relationships too over the past?
Yes. Like I said, especially when I found the biggest shifts the past 4 or 5 months in my business. That's been some of the biggest shifts, and it's continuing to shift even into 2018. But I think once I fully embraced who I was and embraced that fact that, that self-expression is a part of who I am. So it was almost like me really stepping into who I was in a powerful way. And so that's when things really started to show up. So the clients, the income, the different opportunities. And those were the biggest shifts that I've seen. And like I said, but that was me really fully embracing it. And once again, not to say, and I mentioned this a little earlier, not to say that it, that fear doesn't pop up every once in a while. I'm like, okay, all right, do I really want to do this? Okay, yeah, people are looking at me, those kind of things. But, once again, when I think about the bigger picture and the fact that, once again, I am here, the purpose that I'm here for, God has me here for a bigger purpose, and it's not just for me. And so that's what continues to keep me going and pushing, even on those days where I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to go like this. But I don't. So, yes.
So what are your dreams and goals like for the next year? What do you see yourself doing more of?
Yes. And this definitely over the next year, I do continue to see myself on like actually stages, a lot more stages in 2018. Just as a way to continue to hone in that skill, that gift, walking in that self-expression. And then I will also start to do my own live events. That's going to be, I see that at the end of 2018, moving into 2019. So definitely that's huge. I'll continue my one-on-one coaching with my clients. It will probably be scaled back, but I'll still have that. And certainly my group programs, like those give me life. Like it's amazing to have that energy. Whether or not I'm doing a group program or if I'm going live in my group, like that energy from the people that are engaging and interacting is amazing. And so just continuing to offer those things definitely are a part of 2018 moving into 2019.
Yeah, I remember telling you in the beginning, you got to get on stage, you got to do group stuff. And you're like, okay, but I need to get money in too, so get my private practice good and then like really step into the group setting. And I've been seeing you totally been taking off with that. So that's so amazing to actually see the transition to go from like, okay, I enjoy this more in group setting and like letting, like owning that, like that is like who you are and that's what you love doing. Absolutely, like makes more sense. Of course, be on stage, have them in front of you live, and so I'm really excited to hear more about your events and your group programs and stuff that you're going to be taking off next year. Yay! So, how can people contact you? Like, how to work with you, or any last words you want to share with us?
Yes, well, they can certainly reach out to me on my website, which is www.beverlywalthour.com. Like I try to stay consistent across social media and all, my website, this my first and last name. And certainly, I guess the last words that I would leave is, to really make sure that you understand how you operate here on earth and your purpose, and then really fully embracing your purpose and why you're here, and knowing that, on the good days and the bad days, it's all still part of a bigger picture. And, once you fully embrace that, like, it just opens up so many more doors and so many more opportunities for you to pretty much shine, is how I say it. So yeah, those would be the last words. Just definitely embrace it, walk into it, step into it, and feel good about the skin that you're in.
Oh, that's beautiful advice. We all need that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming here live with me and sharing your story and your experience with your blueprints. I can't wait to hear more about all the amazing work that you're going to do in the next year and continue to do and impact more people. And everybody else who's listening, we're going to continue this interview series of my Client Impact LeimomiTV interview series. And so this is where we share more about how people have, really taken off using their blueprints and using their soul's gifts in a way that really is aligned to their soul, and how to get them to that next level by actually doing the true alignment and mindset work to get you to that next level. So if you guys are really interested in this, I actually am having my program coming up February 1st. We're starting very soon. And if you really want to work with me to get your soul alignment blueprints, you can reach out to me at LeimomiKilikuli.com, www.leimomikilikuli.com, and I can share more about what I can help you guys do also. All right, have a beautiful day. Aloha.